You know, we're in the process of allowing the secular progressives to drive faith out of our country. And you look at, you know, one of their heroes.
Okay, so you are seeing Dr. Ben Carson on stage there at CPAC. You heard in his speech that he will still be involved, as he said it, in trying to save our nation, but he did very clearly state, I am leaving the campaign trail. You saw the crowd's reaction. Obviously, he has many fans in that crowd. He got a standing ovation. And as he said, a lot of people love me. It's just a lot of people are not voting for me, but that's okay. So we are back right now. National Review reporter Katherine Timpf, Democratic strategist Chuck Rocha. Kat, I'm coming to you first. Who gets Dr. Carson's votes?
I would think mostly Ted Cruz, because it's the combination of anti-establishment and evangelical. He is a really lovable guy, though. The loving.
Well, you can feel that even in the crowd, even through the TV. You can feel that people really do love and respect him.
Yes, I'm feeling it, right? And I'm not an evangelical. I'm, you know, dirty, socially liberal libertarian, and I can't help but love him and want to go give him a big hug and tell him that he's wonderful. So he definitely has just this amazing likability that if he keeps giving speeches like this, whoever he supports, people will want to support.
Well, and he did tease a little bit in hints, perhaps, of somebody that he would endorse, and then he talked about the qualities of leadership, Chuck, that assumedly he's going to be supporting and encouraging other people to support, and then also talked, of course, about his new role in trying to organize evangelicals and make a difference in their vote. Chuck, how does this change the race?
I think it changes the race a little bit because he wants to have a platform to make sure that people and the momentum that he had and the values that he stood for is reflected in the next candidate. Now, there wasn't a lot of people who still supported Carson, but he did have a loyal group of followers, and I think that your question is very fair. And I think that you're right that the majority of them go to Cruz. I think a portion of them will go to Trump, but I think the bigger group will go to the Cruz, right? So between Cruz and Trump. But I think that he's made a name for himself in the Christian world, evangelical world, and some of the anti-establishment world that we talked about earlier. So I think that he's using this opportunity to lift up his voice. I think we haven't heard the last of Ben Carson. I think we just heard the last of him in this particular race.
Chuck?
You know, you bring up a great point because a lot of these guys need to figure out a way to reach out, especially if you're Trump, especially if you're Cruz, of somebody just like we were just talking about, somebody who's nice. Somebody who comes across as warm.
Kat says she's a libertarian, and even she loves him. I mean, it's kind of hard not to. You know, he comes across as a really gentle person. And he made me laugh at the beginning of the speech, right, talking about how he could have traded insults with everybody, but chose to leave high school behind, and essentially saying that humans are supposed to be a little bit more evolved than lizards, who have the capability of responding. Right. That was pretty funny from a scientific point of view, right? But, Kat, what do you think? I mean, could he be on the ticket, no matter who leads it, as the VP?
It's tough. You hear him give speeches like this, and it's so wonderful. He talks about how it's not compassionate to rely on the government, and given his own story, that really resonates, and he has every right to say that. But when you put him in a debate situation, he starts talking about fruit salad. He doesn't look so strong anymore, and that's all part of being the VP. And that makes me sad, but we'll see. I don't really think so. I really don't. But speeches like this are just so wonderful. They make me love him all over again.
All right, well, we'll see. As you say, still a few innings to go. Katherine Timpf, Chuck Rocha, thank you so much. Glad to have had you there with me to hear that decision altogether.